Hello and welcome. Right, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive in what everybody's favourite modular is. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Now, we will be using the Bricklink Designer Pro to see what all these sets are worth. And of course, what do you class as your modulars? So I put this up to remind me to say that because, of course, I use the Bricklink Designer program as another modular building, but it's not technically part of the Lego line for that kind of thing. But some of you might include it, that it actually is. Then, of course, you've got the Doctor Strange, which, of course, you then got to think of, is that classed as a modular? Because technically it is. But we will go with the normal January release to start with, and then we'll basically see what is what. And yes, that is Smudge making... Well, I don't actually know what he's doing. I've probably just woken him up, so he's wondering what the hell is going on. So there's a poll running, as always. What theme do you look forward to the most each year? The modular, a new IP, CMF minifigures, or something else? So get voting. Let me know exactly what you think of. Everybody's liked the video so far. Thank you very much indeed. So we are literally just going to go through the different modulars. You can make up your own top three. In the chat, I want you to put what your top three is, and then we can literally tick it about and go from there. So the first one that we're going to take a look at is item number 10190. Some of you will not class this as a modular. Some of you will. I don't know where you in your own head officially start it from coming, but 10190 is the Market Street. Now, does anybody have the Market Street in their collection? If you do, congratulations, because look at the price of this. It is between £1,900 and £4,300. Why would you ever pay that amount of money? I do not know. You would just use the Bricklink Designer program to see what it's all about. But this is where it all started for some, all the way back in 2007. But some of you won't class this one as the first one. You probably class the Greengrocer as the first one. So does anybody have this? Would anybody want this? Because I know you can do it in different colors. Obviously, we can use the Bricklink and all that kind of thing. But who has this in their collection? So good evening to everybody. So let's just go through. Mark, hello. Ultrabricks, hello. John, good evening to you. Reese, hello. And everybody else that is in the chat, hello to you as well. So poll running. Let me know what you think. I'll just keep shouting out the numbers. And everybody that's liked the video so far, thank you very much indeed. So with regard to this, all the way back in 2007, how times have changed. 1,236 pieces. And you got 3 bog standard minifigures for your trouble all the way back in 07. Now, I don't know. I've never seen this in person. So I don't know what this is like on the inside. And I don't think I've seen the Greengrocer in person either. I've seen a lot of the others, but I've never seen these two in person built. So it does look very effective, and you can see what the box artwork looks like. So again, they've gone from the old Lego factory, because it was designed, this is before literally the Lego ideas, it was designed by Lego fans. So you can see it is technically a modular. They've all the way back in 07, they actually gave you the height and width of everything. Of course, it's just a base plate. You can see how it all takes apart. Is it a base plate? Yeah, it is a base plate. It's a full base plate, isn't it? Because that's on a 16 by 32, and then that's on another 16 by 32. So yes, I remember the old Lego factory boxes and all that kind of thing. It's been a long time since I've seen anything like this. This is a trip down memory lane for this. But yes, if you are thinking of backtracking it, you want to get it used, it's anywhere between £378 and £1,900. Brand new, starts at 1,900 all the way to 4,000, because that is what people value this set at for whatever reason. But there we go. There's a little bit of an extra building your way inside the tour, and I can't zoom in any more than that. So I know of people that have rebuilt this in different colors, and I've seen it on people's actual feeds and Instagram feeds and all that kind of stuff, but never seen it with the box. So it makes me wonder if they've just parted it out and done it that way. So if that one isn't classed as a true modular to start with, then potentially this one will be, which is 10185, which is, of course, the Greengrocer. Now, this, I do believe a lot of people will class this as the first one. It is a beast of a thing to try and get hold of. As you can see, 500, 600. It's a very expensive looking set. It does have looks like it has all the photos. So we'll go through them and I'll see if I can retype it in and see if I can find the minifigures to all of these. So Mark says the Darth Vader smart brick set I pre-ordered came today, already built it. What do you think of it, Mark? Do you enjoy it? So John says the top 3 is the Palace Cinema, very good, bookstore and pet shop. Ooh, okay. Nice. So is that your top 3 list, or is that the top 3 you're backtracking? So give us your top 3 in the chat of what it is you have, as in with regards to your favorite ones. And then the 3 that you've built, the best 3 you've built, and the best 3 that you need to still buy. Because I don't know of anybody that actually, some of you might have all of them. You might just be sat there going, nah, I don't need to backtrack any of these because I own every single one of them. But of course, well, I am very jealous and very envious if any of you have got the original ones like these, because they are very, very difficult to come by now. So let me just catch up with the chat, see what is going on. Right, they're the ones you own. Yeah, amazing. Good evening, Sean. How are we today? Hopefully you are okay, and hopefully everybody's had a successful Tuesday. So yeah, hopefully everybody's had a successful Tuesday. But you can see, I can't really. I can zoom in. If I do it this way, I can zoom in. So you've got the staircase and all the other smaller rooms on this one. And obviously, every single modular is a completely different shape, isn't it? It's in a completely different way. So you can just see what that is all about. And obviously, depending on when you got into the Lego stuff, you might see, as we just go through this the next hour or so, just how they're starting to come back around for the second time. Because the next one that we're about to take a look at is the original hotel. And then, of course, well, the hotel, they have just retired, haven't they? Excuse me. I need to swallow my own throat. So yes, it is. It is one of those. With regards to the starting price, this is £500. So it is a lot of money. What are we at? 10185. Let me just do that again and just see what it actually comes up with. There we go. I must have clicked on things twice. So that's the original box, and from 2008. That is the figures. There we go. So I was wondering why it looks a little bit different. So there's the minifigures that are included within these, and you can see just they've added one more extra figure in. It does say it was from 2008 to 2008, so I'm assuming this is why this is so expensive, because it had a really very short run. But I haven't got I'm only going by what it says through Bricklink. But you can see at the top, look, 2008 to 2008. Did they just do a one and done and just see how it went? And then there was a little bit of a gap until later on, and they didn't, on the back of the artwork, start to do the extras and things like that. But you can see up here, look, used is 500 to 1,200. New is 1,098 to 2,739. So they are a lot of money. A lot of money. So, which modulars did I miss? Said Reese. Well, we're going all the way back to the beginning. So we're going to start. I bet you're going to start making a list. But these, the first 2 that we just had a look at, they are scary amount of money. 10182 is next. So 10182. It's just how they're coming at me. So starting off, used is 496, all the way up to 1,867. New 2,100 to 2,899. And it is the corner calf, which I have seen built, and externally it does look extremely impressive. But if I remember rightly, the internals of the sort of original Create Expert, because that's what it was under, and it was back in 07, this one, mind. It was in 07, so technically this is the second modular then, depending on if that's the year that they did come out. There's not much going on the inside. So, well, the Winter Village option will be something else. So I've given you a new IP, a modular, or CMF. I haven't really given much options with that one, to be honest. So I could have literally written loads and loads and loads. I'm expecting something else or the modulars to pull away with it, but it seems to be a lot of people look forward to the CMFs once a year. So Winter Village is on my list. I would vote for something else. That is the one I look forward to the most. But this one looks a beefy looking thing. Does look very, very impressive. And again, 2,044 pieces. They have got bigger over the years, and you can see just how the minifigures. Well, it's nice that they've actually given you more characters now, because way back when, if you put this in your city and you just had these, it looks empty, doesn't it? If you've just got those 3 dotted about, how many more minifigures you would have to buy just to be able to put those in. But how times have changed. So we've already looked at the Market Street. I don't know if you class that as your first or second or third one. Going by the date, going by the release order of this, it went Market Street and Corner Calf both came out in 07, and the Greengrocer came out in 08. And then from here onwards, what I'm about to type in next, these are, I say okay, because this is an item 97 ending in. These now are starting to get a little bit more cost effective to a point, because they're still very, very expensive. They're still very, very expensive. 10197, 10197. There we go. So there we go. See what I mean? So literally, we've gone from thousands and thousands into the hundreds. So it's 200 to 600, 300 to 1,300, depending on. So I think this is about £400 now. I think this set's about £400. And of course, if you like the police station, this will work perfectly with the police station. And then you go from there. Reese says, I think the A-frame is arriving tomorrow. Beautiful. You're going to really, really enjoy that. You will enjoy that one. So at what point was everybody's first modular? That's the key, because we're now in 09 for these. And you can see you've got three staff and then one person. Again, it is just the standard modular buildings. You've got the little fire truck at the front, and then you've got the rooftop where you can do all the different bits and pieces in, with the bell at the top as well. I do like the look of this one. I think the architecture on this one at the front does look quite smart. I again seen it in person. I think I do like the look of it, but you can see how they've got the pins and everything on the side now, ready to add in all of the others. But this was again before my time. So Killian says, I built that like 2 years ago. Have you still got it, Killian? Because it's worth an absolute fortune. So if you've got this one or the ones that came out before it, you lot are sat on an absolute gold mine. If you've got the Greengrocer or the Market or the original sort of modular cinema calf, the corner calf, shall we say, which has the hotel on the side, they're thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. Now 10211 is next. So 102. That is the next one. So 10211. This is the Grand Emporium. Now I have seen this. I was going to say I've seen this used for about this amount of money, for 250. I saw it for, and it was in the cabinet of the shop that I went into, but I had no idea if it was an original one or not, because there was no box. So it's 244 to 1,700, or new 280 to 900. So still lots and lots of money. They do hold their value massively, but you can see now we're up to 2010, and they've given you a fair few more minifigures. And this one does look, again, extremely impressive externally. Internally, I think this has got the escalator on the inside, and then that's about it. Killian can't remember if he's got the fire station still or not, but yes, there seems to be a minifigure with no pants on. Was he literally naked? We have what is why? Yellow legs. Is it trousers? No, he's not wearing trousers, is he? Or is he? I don't know. We got a nudist minifigure on the first one of these, and then we have got lots and lots of other nice little figures. Because of course, don't forget, that's a bit freaky, but it is the mannequin bride, something like a horror film. And then you've got another mannequin because you've got a wedding shop on the inside of this. Then you've got the maintenance guy, so you've got the red construction helmet. Then you have got this lady just here with the bob cut hair, and you've got a little kid with a pirate looking thing going on. So yeah, nice little selection of minifigures, but now we're getting a little bit more of an understanding of, there's a little bit more detail in these. I do like the elevator that goes up to the next level, because it is a full-blown shop. So you've got a changing area just on this bit. You have got some nice bits and pieces on the inside. Again, there's no real tiling on the inside of this yet. There's a lot of studs on show with these kind of things, but they do, I think it looks nice. I think this is where a lot of people will have this one in their collection, maybe. But I'm still waiting for people to know what everybody's top 3 modulars are. Everybody that's liked the video so far, guys, again, thank you very much indeed. With regards to the poll, it's close. 33% if you like something else, 22%, 22 and 22 for everything else. So we'll see how that pans out on the way through. So moving on to the next thing. What is it? There it is. So yeah, just little things like that. Obviously, it is absolutely impossible to take a photo like that unless you rip the wall down, because of course you can't get the camera in there properly. So the front of the wall is not built, but you can see how it looks like we're on the second level, and then it looks like it goes up all. Oh no, that's still the bottom level. But what's on the next level? Do they not show you? Ah, that's a shame. That's a shame. So got the mannequins in the window, and again, you've got all the nice bits and pieces. They're getting bigger though, 2,154 pieces. Now, when these originally came out, they would have been well under £100, I would imagine. Way back then, and now they just get more and more expensive. But actually, we're probably close to 100 and because the bank was only 130 something, wasn't it? So how much that's going for now is scary. Right, moving on to the next one is the pet shop is the next one. So we have got 10218. 10218. And that is the pet shop. So I do obviously, this is probably this is my oldest one. This is the first one on this list that I own back from 2011. 2016 parts. It's two 16 by 16 modulars on this one. So this is the first one I did. Pet, townhouse, and then you've got these on the side, where again, some people love them, some people not so much with these. It's everybody's got their own favorite top 3, top 5. But with these, you've got two 16 by 32 buildings. The tops all rip off on both, so it's technically 6 individual rooms. And you've got some little bits and pieces in for the pet. You do like your little dog and cat playing just there down at the bottom. So you can see there is bits and pieces going on with it. And it adds to it, but again at the same time, maybe not sure. Yeah, the elevator in the Emporium is gorgeous. It is indeed. It is a very, very pretty looking thing. What I do, I'm just going to go over them at this pace, and then if we've got time at the end, I'll go back, because there's a fair few of them, because you've got 15 of them to look at in total. Then we can have a look at potentially the Doctor Strange, if people think that's a modular and all that kind of stuff as well. 10224 is next. So this is extremely expensive, if I remember rightly, which is the Town Hall. The Town Hall, it's not as bad, nowhere near as bad. So it's between new 466 to 1,700, which is still an incredible amount of money, and used 410 to 870. But it's nowhere near as bad as the other ones. So you have got 3, 6, 7, 8 minifigures on this one. Piece count's going up, 2,733. And you have got a cool little space t-shirt on this one. You've got you can see how this works with the other one, because you've got the bride in the wedding dress and you've got the groom just there. So clearly they've gone shopping, they bought the bits and pieces, and then they've gone from there. So they've obviously gone into the other modular. So it already tells its story. That's what they used to do. They used to do quite nice things where they used to sort of interlink. Because with the last Easter egg I caught was obviously the police station from the Britlink Bank. I haven't seen like a little design crossover since then. So yeah, not seen any of them since then. You've got the little press, and then you've got the secretary, which is nice. Reese says, next thing on my list, left, because it's hard to pick, is the restaurant, Assembly Square, police station, and not going to Britlink. Yeah, fair enough. Doing good. Finally started pulling stuff out so far. Have a Quickie Mart and a Star Wars house. A few Star Wars stuff and Joker Man to start to clear out. Ooh. What are you doing? Building and then getting them gone? Or they just getting launched out for Killian? So Killian is sat on a gold mine. There we go. He can eat for the rest of the month. That is good. Does anybody have the Bricklink? That's a very good. That is a big. That's a lengthy one. That one. That is a no from me. I do not have that one. So again, this one, all sorts of rooms going in on the inside. You've got some sort of office, something going on here. I've never seen the inside of it, actually. I'm not going to lie. I've never seen the inside of it. I'm assuming they're paying to use something for their wedding, and the wedding's getting done on the balcony. And then you've got the cool bits and pieces at the front door. And of course, everybody would use this for the Back to the Future, wouldn't they? That's what a lot of people would use this for, because it kind of looks like a Back to the Future type thing. So if you've got this in the DeLorean, I can see a nice display coming on for all of you guys and girls. What the box artwork? Is there a different photo? Yeah, so that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to be looking for if you do need to pick any of those up. Right, moving on to the next one. That's coming into the cinema, the Palace Cinema. So 10232 is next. So 10232. Uh, 10232. Yep, I have got this one as well. And what a nice thing is. Shame that they don't have all the photos on the inside. It might be on the Lego website. Let's see if we can find it on the Lego website and just see if I can use both. Let's have a look. 10232. So we were looking at these quickly to kill some time, weren't we? The other day. Yes, it is. Brilliant. So this, I think this is the oldest one that is on the Lego website. So it is a very, very impressive looking thing. And you can see you've got 3 clicks and a snap. That is the show. You've got a nice little car. Again, I miss the box artwork from these kind of things. It just stands out. Because when you see them in a store, especially when you go around Billund and foreign countries where they've got these on the shelf next to the newer ones, these catch your eye straight away. You didn't realize how eye-catching these boxes were until they all sort of go basic and sort of the 18 plus type stuff. But this is a nice looking set, this one. So again, if anybody has this, owns this, you have got good taste, and it is a very, very good set. It is on a bizarre coloured base plate, though, if I remember. It's on a red base plate for whatever reason, but it is what it is with that. Right, the next set on the list, have a look, is the restaurant 10243. I'm sure now what we can do is we can use the Lego website for the rest of them because we're getting newer and newer. Yes, we can. So do want to actually let you guys know how much these sets are. So the cinema, we'll go back first. The cinema is 196 to 909 or 150 to 542 used. For the restaurant 10243, you have got 180 to 2,600, and used it's up to 436. This set is stunning as well. So it's a beautiful, beautiful set. And again, really nice, bright, vibrant artwork. The color is really nice. That color in person is really, really, really nice. You've got the really nice bits and pieces on the front. You've got all the places where they can just sit down. There's a wedding proposal going on. You've obviously got the menu at the front for the chef. Nice little seating area. You can see how the tiling just works really well. And I say this every single time. The staircase that takes you up and around the back, it does work very, very well. So they are nice. They are very, very nice looking sets. Yeah, that's it. Well, the restaurant is the restaurant is gorgeous. Is gorgeous. So if anybody has got any of these, of course, that we've been looking at so far, let us know. Let us know what your top 3 modulars are of all time. For whatever reason, either finished result, building experience, whatever it might be. How did you get to getting to your top 3? Everybody that's liked the video so far as well, guys. Again, thank you very much indeed. But it is amazing how quickly they've changed over a period of time, because the first ones that we were looking at, they were very, very basic on the inside, whereas this just has a lot going on all over the place. I do like the shape. I do like how you get more exterior use out of this one, because you can just have it displayed nicely. And yeah, I think this one does work really, really very, very well. The building all up top all works. So yeah, I've got a few of them. Like I said, I've got nowhere near all of them, but I do have a few of them. You can see you've got the cheese and the blue milk on the inside. You can see on the back of the box artwork. You've got the cinema that we've already looked at, and then you've got the townhouse that we've already looked at as well. So again, does anybody have this one? And if you have, are you a fan? Because that is the key. So the police station, hotel, the boutique, and the museum is Sean's top 3. It's a strong top 3. Yeah, it is a strong top 3. I mean, if I was to do my top 3, I'll put the bank in there because that's a beautiful looking thing. I think you'd have to put the Assembly Square in the top 3 just because it was the 10th anniversary and it was out forever. So the Assembly Square is an impressive looking thing. So the Bank, Assembly Square, and then it'll be a toss up between this and the police station, I think. I would think. And of course, once you built them, you know then exactly the difference between all of them, all the bits and pieces that you get on the inside, and just all the space and everything that gets used that way. So yeah, everyone's going to have their own. Everyone's going to have the top three that they've obviously had and built, and then there'll be a top three that they want. There'll be like a wish list top three, I'm sure. 10246 is on the list. Next, 10246. Now, the interesting thing is they went from this gorgeous thing to another nice one, because the detective's office is also it's a funky design, this one. So we'll use Bricklink as well with regards to the pricing for Bricklink. So the pricing is as follows. It's 200 to 1,700 new, 2,000 to 1,000. That can't be right. There's, like I always say, take this with a pinch of salt. They probably got that the wrong way around. But £1,500, £1,500 if you want this at the most pristine, most expensive set you can possibly find for whatever reason. I would think that you should be able to pick these up still new for around the £400 mark, maybe 350, 400, 350 used more than likely. But again, lots and lots of minifigures added into this one. Box artwork looks really nice, and it just works well as a street setup. And yeah, I think it works. I do think it works nicely. I do. They always have different designers on all of these, don't they? So you've got the rooftop at the top, you've got some play features in there, you've got the bits and pieces that you can eat and cook. Some of the rooms are a little bit small in some of them, and then of course they're not so bad in the other. But yeah, you've got all the bits and pieces going on this one. So it's obviously the private eye going on there. But the pool table on this one does look. They not put a picture of the actual bottom level on. Come on, don't be horrible. Oh, they haven't. Oh, is that a time when Lego just didn't care? So there's a really nice fancy pool table on the inside, just in there. Is there a picture on Bricklink for this? No. So Bricklink's exactly the same. It doesn't show you anything. So for whatever reason, you're going to have to trust me. There is a pretty cool pool table, and it's slightly bigger than the one that's in the Ninjago. Was that in the markets? I think there's a slightly bigger one than that one. But you can see now that is a very, very expensive run, because all of these now, if you were to get 1,200 easy, you would be spending on these sets new, just for this new. If you, like we said, you're trying to go further back, you're looking at thousands and thousands going all the way back to the beginning. And again, the question still stands to everybody. What do you class as the first modular? Do you class it as the this one? Because I don't know of anybody that has got this one. Or do you class it as the greengrocer? Because technically the greengrocer, for whatever reason, the greengrocer came out, is technically, I guess it says the second. It's the second modular going by the dates. I always assume the greengrocer came out before the calf, because the corner calf, which is this one, there you go. So where did you get yours? What do you class as the factory? Because this, I always thought this came out second, but going by these lists, this is actually out first. It's on multiple websites that this came out first, apparently before the greengrocer, which I didn't think that was the case. But I've learned something new this evening. But yeah, there's a lot of sets out, a lot of money's worth as well. So it's scary to think that corner calf is thousands and thousands. The market, Killian, if you've got that Market Street, you're looking at about £3,000 to £5,000, I think it was, if you had it new, mint and sealed. Right, another one that everybody slept on, probably regretted not picking up, is the Bank, because the Bank is about to come up next, 10251, and this wasn't out for a very long time. It was actually out for quite a short run. And then all of a sudden, the value of it just quadrupled. It just skyrocketed because it wasn't out that long. The internals of this thing with the chandelier are beautiful. The length is on the way. Reese's boat is on the way. So now what that means you're gonna be building the boat this weekend. So you can be looking at the A-frame cabin box, and you can be building the length. So that'd be good. That'd be good fun. But yeah, this thing here under the Lego Creator Expert range as well. Really very, very nice. There's lots and lots going on. The tiling on the inside. So we can see within what 5 years they've gone from having no tiles down at all to then putting internal stuff in with no tiles to just full blown. Everything's tiled. Everything looks great. This one's probably got tells the biggest story of the break-in and getting the money and breaking into the safe and doing the money laundering and getting out the other way, and the fact it's got 2 doors in, and it's obviously it's a side unit, but you can just pick and choose how it is that you want to see the front, and it just works really well. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't out that long. But there's a big chandelier that goes through this gap, so you can see the chandelier when you sort of have it dangling down, and it's attach the top of this bit just here. But yep, that's where you go flying down all the way down its shaft, and then in you go and you steal everything. And of course, keep saying it, the new police station has the Soaps and Studs logo, which is what this is. So Soaps and Suds just hidden behind the bench. So it's a little bit of an Easter egg for that set, which I thought was a nice little touch. So I would definitely have the brick bank on my top 3 built with the assembly square, because they're both very, very, very pretty, nice builds. But I don't know why this wasn't out very long. So what is this? 10251. How much are you? So 10251. And again, this wasn't very expensive when it first came out, but it's anything between 360 to 900 pounds sealed. Used is up to 500 pounds, depending on where it is in the world. So it's a chunk of change, this thing. But yeah, I think it works. I think it does look really. I think it looks really nice. So hopefully, if you built it, you like it, then happy days. If you haven't got it, it's still at that price point where it's very expensive still to backtrack. Now this one, the one that came out in 2017, the Assembly Square 10255, the sort of anniversary edition set, only just recently retired as well, hasn't it? So this was the 10th modular. It's obviously the biggest one that they've done. It's got more rooms than the History Museum, because of course the History Museum is just a museum, whereas this technically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a roof. So there's some nice bits and pieces going on this. I said that this could literally just be a standalone display. It does look great with 2 buildings either side. And yeah, I think this one works really, really nicely. This one at the moment, I don't think is horrendous amount of money. So if you guys are soaking in that picture, I will look at what 10255. I'll have a look at the price. So new, it starts at 175 up to 605. So it's, I think when it came out, it was 155, I think. Yeah, I can find that out on the Lego website, can't I? 10255, 10255. 259 when it first came out, not 152. So yeah, it was the most expensive one at the time, but it was massive because this is 4,000 pieces. So that was huge amount of brick count for the time that this came out. And now obviously they're just getting beefier and beefier and beefier. So yeah, it's a scary amount, but this one's not too bad to backtrack. Not too bad to backtrack because yeah, if you wanted to get it used moment. So this is just Bricklink. This is sealed. Let's go to used. So used price in the UK. Look, used in the UK, £140. Incomplete. Doesn't exactly help, does it? You want a complete one. There's another one. No box or instructions. All parts and figures in great condition. 175. So there you go. So it's amazing to think that this will just get more and more expensive over a period of time. It does work very nicely in the display. And Kelsey, then you've got the next 3 rooms just up the top. Timothy, good afternoon to you. Yeah, so the assembly square at the moment isn't too bad. Those are outrageously expensive, but this one, because there was so many of them made, because it was out for so long, it's not too bad. But the bank, well, that's what quadrupled plus in the short time it's been discontinued for. And then the fire, basically the fire brigade backwards, unless you are a completionist and you had a load of money behind you, it's just almost, well, it's literally impossible, isn't it, to complete all of those. If you have them, now's your time to sell them because they are really very expensive. But I would imagine that this in 5 years' time will be very, very pricey indeed. I don't know how many base plate and a half sets they are going to do, because of course we've got the History Museum out at the time as well, didn't we? So we've only got two base plate and a half. We've only got two base plate and a half sets. So I have to wait and see what happens. Now the diner is 10260. So 10260 is next. This is a really nice looking. This is a nice looking modular. 129.99 when this came out. So again, lots going on with this one. The colours of this are beautiful. Like I say this every time, I do like the fact that looks like a jukebox. So it does work nicely. Price of this at the moment 10260. What are we doing? So we are looking from new 170 up to 1,000. How it goes to 1,000, I don't know. So let's have a very, very quick look in the background. So there's one brand new and sealed in Malaysia for 170. Germany's 190. Yeah, so realistically, at a place that you can get it okay with postage for the UK or the States, it's a £250 set. This thing is now. So it's it's pricey, but the diner is a really nice looking, really very nice looking thing. So again, box artwork, super eye catching. I do like all the rooms that are on the inside of it. Again, I like the fact that you've got the staircase going around the back to almost like the back alley of the diner, which of course is the boxing ring. But the nice thing is with the diner, it's cleverly done because it's still deep. How they've done it, it's a completely different layout. So you've got a lot of space on the bottom level. But they've never always gone back to the back, have they? The Assembly Square was the one that went back to the furthest. But this is just a nice sized boxing ring. You've got all the gym, you've got the water, you've got the clock, you've got all the other little bits and pieces that are in there. And then up at the top, you've got a music studio, if I remember rightly. So you've got the drink, you've got the recording studio bits just up at the top, just there. And you've got some of the little bits and pieces going on as well. So yeah, I think it does look really nice. But now we're getting to the point of having lots of photos, and you know that the Lego group only take over 10 photos if they like the set. The fact there's 31 of them, it does look really nice. And again, there you go. You've got your pancakes on the go. So there you go. Pancakes on the go. I do like all the teal colours and everything that are in there. The build's nice. It just works. It just looks nice. And as it gets put together and as a complete thing, it works really nicely because that's the music studio. So you can see what I mean about it. It all comes together. Really comes together. Yeah, modular gym would be pretty cool. So DGI, good evening to you. I heard that Toy Story sets will come. Ooh. Well, yeah, probably from the new film. They're doing a new film, aren't they? The trailer's just dropped. So more than likely that will happen. But yeah, the inside of this, loads and loads of different bits and pieces going on. So very supersized dumbbell, bench press. I do find that quite funny though, because there's no way you would be able to save that with boxing gloves on. You would just end up just watching the person getting crushed. The nice pink car, again, if you've got the giveaway with the blue surfboarded car giveaway, works perfectly parked behind this in front of the diner. And again, that's a solid strip. So that does look very, very smart with those three side by side. I think that does work nicely with all the sort of the fascias and everything. It does work. It does work a treat. And then we still got how is it? What are they showing us then? So there's a jukebox. They don't do this anymore, do they? And then we've got every single minifigure individually. And then you've got another full run of everything as an individual photo. And then you've got the designer or somebody looking at it. And you've got a funky pair of sunglasses just on the right hand side. Right, there we go. So that is the diner. Yeah, Ultra Bricks is now Ultra Bricks is crumbled. Ultra Bricks has crumbled. It didn't take long. I knew somebody was going to. That's why I put the crumble thing in there. So make use of your emojis where they last. So Ultra Bricks has crumbled. Unlucky. We are moving on to the next modular building. I tell you, I think the corner garage was destined to fail. I think after following the detective's office, the brick bank, the assembly square, and the downtown diner, that's all the ones that came in front of them, which are now all worth a load of money. They did something completely different, and I just don't know what people thought of it. So 10264, I've got it. I use it as a toilet in my theme park display, but 10264, it works if you have it on a table, because you've got to have the modular buildings going this way and this way, because you can't have it. It's like it's a corner. So that's the thing. I guess it's inverted, isn't it? So yeah, it's tough, because you can see if you can make it work nicely and actually put it in how it should be, and you've got the row plates around it, it works really well. If not, it has to go right at the end of the row in a shelf and not put anything else beside it, because it's not designed to go on a shelf or a Billy bookcase, which sucks because all the others are, because of how it is. You can see what I mean. One's got to go this way and one's got to go this way, and it's just a different thing. So they tried something completely different, which I do enjoy, but kind of change it so much it just wouldn't really work with the actual shelf. But they've also put a second door in on here for, is it a vet that they put in? So if you think the diner had 30 odd photos, this just had 14. But I've got it, I picked it up, but this is the second level. But if I remember rightly, a lot of people thought this was quite awkward to display, because it was always, how could you, which way is it you go in, how is it you could do? Because now what you're supposed to do, look, is carry on going down the other way. So if you've got a long shelf, it would always go at the end. So it looks good as the end, but it would always have to be at the end. You couldn't just continuously keep going in a straight line. So the new one would have to go beside the diner. I think some people just didn't like it too much. Brickable World, hello to you. How are we? Good evening. He's crumbled. He has crumbled DJI. He wants the diner. So that means the diner will be bought soon, probably. Didn't realize the garage came out after. Yeah, so all of the other sets, the garage is new. So yeah, the garage is relatively new, but it was a tough list, because just before this one, you had the diner. Then the year before that was the Assembly Square, Brick Bank before that, the detective's office before that, the restaurant before that. Then it was the Palace, the Town Hall. So all of those were really heavy hitters. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 6, 7. They had 7 years of solid modulars, and then they just changed it, because they went for a complete different corner. And then they went for this one, which is 10270, which everybody was really excited about. 10270. Because I remember people going, oh, it's going to be a bookshop. I want a massive bookshop or a big library. And they gave you half of one in a townhouse. And that's what annoyed people. If this was a 32 by 32 as a bookshop, I think people wouldn't have moaned at all. But because it was another townhouse, and the reason why they've done another townhouse, of course, is because you've then got the townhouse to go to the pet shop. So you put this one beside the pet shop, you put that one beside the townhouse. So they've kind of just redone the design of 32 by 15 base plates. But again, gosh, I'm gonna go slow now. It's what we want, dial up now, are we? So yeah, you can see what I mean with regards to this. So I like it. The book looks lovely. The trees and everything, the birds' nests and all that kind of stuff. I've always had the book stuff in. The townhouse has always been a little bit awkward for me to display, from a theme park perspective. But now you can see the problem, because they've now split it up. So you'd have to have you'd need. It's clever how they got the car being towed into the garage. That makes sense. But also you just then literally need to start fresh. That's what it's to do with. Because a lot of the artwork did have this one being towed, which was quite fun to see on all the different photos and things like that. But there's not much going on in it. I mean, there's nothing on the ground level here, literally nothing. It's just all open studs. This one is tile, but it's very, very small. And then it's just a staircase, which is a shame, really, because everybody was really hoping to get a huge bookstore. And yeah, it's what people. I don't think it's what people were assuming it was going to be, because this one wasn't out that long. It's going to be sought after, though, because it is a really nice looking thing on display. But I think it probably would have sold more, maybe it was a 32 by 32. But there's a Moby brick, and then you've got all the other little bits and pieces that are up top. So, but we all know that they look really effective on the shelf. That's the photo that annoys me, because it looks like it's a 32 by 32 base plate, and it's not. It's two 16 by 16s, and we know full well that that would fall apart if it was at that angle. So that bugged me, because it looked like, oh, it's on a 32 base plate. It's not. It's not on a 32 base plate. Right, moving on to the, actually, we'll find out what the price of this one is, shall we? So 10270, the price of this now. Where are we? So you can pick this up new for £124. So it's £124 new. So this is the cheapest one you can get. This is the cheapest, oldest modular that you can get, I think. No, that's a problem. Ultra bricks. Some of the older ones are really very, very expensive. Really very, very expensive. But it's one of those. You either jump into the modulars with the ones that are out, and then you try and backtrack just a few that aren't too expensive, and then you just need to know when to stop, and that's where you start from, because you know they're going to come out every year. That's the thing. So you've just got to be careful with them, because it gets expensive very, very quickly. Now, we've gone from this beautiful box artwork, which you've seen on all of them, and then the next set is the police station, which is a great set, but they could have. We're into the boring boxes. So 10278 is next. 10278. So 169.99 when this came out originally. And you can see what I mean about the box. I just their mind, it makes the set look more expensive, and all that. It's just so boring. So boring. But the set itself isn't. The set itself is gorgeous. So that's the Easter egg to the brick bank that we saw before, because you've got the money laundering from Soaps and Suds. So you can see all that just on that bit. You then got the donut bit going on. You've got the breakout bit down at the bottom. You've got all of these going through just here. Again, going by the diner, they've added loads and loads of photos on this one. Timothy said, I would love the diner. Yeah, the diner is really very, very impressive. All the levels on it. It's just one of those sets that look really nice when it's complete. It does look very, very smart indeed. So this is got, again, this is one of the first ones really where they've gone for instead of it being a full 32, they've gone for this sort of secondary building on the side, and they've added in the extra color. So you can see how they've changed over a long period of time with all the building designs and everything. You've got a bit of roof space up at the top, and there's other little bits and pieces that you can do. The police station itself is just very, very, very good looking. I do like the fact they're bribing them with donuts, and we've got the map on the inside, and then you get done over 5 figures within this one, and then that's what it looks like together. So they look not these two look nice together, but there's nothing wrong with the bookshop whatsoever. It's just the internals of it isn't really. The external looks like it's a huge bookshop, but it's not. But to be fair, I said at the start, the external of that looks really very, very nice. And then we are, this one's very chunky as well. You can see it's a bit of a chunk with a double height, so it makes the city look a little bit busier. I say this every time. I do like the greenery all over the side of this one, and all the different texture and everything up on the roof. That is one of my favorite features, I think, just because I spotted it straight away, and I just found it funny that they're advertising a money laundering firm on a side of a police station. I thought, yeah, that is pretty cool. That's what it is, all split up and done. And then you've got all of the different rooms on the inside. And this was at a time where they did take photos of an aerial view, because you will watch as we get newer and newer, they're now doing those really weird angled photos. We can't quite see all the way down. But that's how it's split. So it's nice to see it all split up. So you know exactly how much space it is and what's in there and everything else. And again, massive credit to all the designers for this, because must be a terrifying task to get told that you're going to be in charge of the next thing. Yeah, well, this is it. Ultrabrick says, I think the black box artwork helps adults justify the price, to be honest. Felt that way at first. Now I crumble too fast to care. To be honest, after seeing the older sets, I just think, yeah, it's supposed to make it look more expensive. But like all of them, like the Apocalypseburg, the Joker Manor, all of those others were standalone things. And now it is just a black box with an image on. It doesn't have. You see what I mean now. We're going to start going through, because we're going to be playing Spot the Difference. So 10297. So you've got the police station. Moving straight on into this one, 10297. So if you have boxes and you like to display them, you're then just going to have 10297. Come on, there it is. So yeah, it's just another thing. But again, the sets themselves do look really good, and we've gone all the way back almost to the beginning with the corner calf with the hotel on. And I know this is a lot of this is, well, for a lot of you, this is on your top 3, I would imagine, because a lot of you have built this one, and it does look really nice. Yeah, that's it. Simpsons box artwork, super bright, super vibrant. If that was an 18, it would just be in a black box artwork. That's what I mean. It's like when you go around and you go to the other places and you see some of the older sets with a really vibrant artwork on, you think, okay, yeah. Well, now you now go into a Lego store and the whole wall is black, so nothing jumps out at you. You're like, oh, it all looks the same. I'm a colourful person, so that's why. You got all the keys internally, looks really nice. You've got all of the typewriters, the chairs, and all that kind of thing. Looks great. You've got the little dodgy bed. I'm not too sure what the chocolate trick is with that. I'm not 100% sure if she's just putting chocolates on the pillow for a good time or what. And then there's a lot of Easter eggs involved in this, isn't there? There's some sets. So that's the Creator Expert logo, which is on the box of the older sets, because of course we're now into the newer 18 plus Lego icon type nonsense. So they got rid of the Lego symbol. And again, now you've got another one of those scenarios where you can pick and choose which way it is that you want to, which is where you want to go. So you'd have to put this one in at the end if required, but this one's a little bit easier because you don't need the road plate in front. So you can just have this. If it's on the edge of the table, then you're all right. But if you then want a road in front of it, the corner garage would work there perfectly fine. Yeah, Sean's like, chocolate spread head to toe. She knows the score. Oh, could you imagine? I wonder how much melting would need. Oh God, think of the crusty skin. Right, you've got all of this and all of this. So you've got the two workers. I'm just confused with what she's getting up to with the chocolate. That's all. I am a little bit confused with that. I think he's having a bit of a naughty time. I think that's what she's doing. What is that noise? I keep hearing things. I keep thinking I can hear pumpkin. Right, the next set, because obviously we're getting newer and newer. Again, Jazz Club 10213. The 10213. Oh. Hey. If I type that in wrong. Oh. 10312, idiot. Try again. There he is. All right, that took long enough. We are away. So again, it's Let's go make that large. So this again looks visually nice. I said this before. Other people have changed the color of the top part of the Jazz Club to a different. I think the red's okay. It's different. It's just different to the others, isn't it? But if they did it in a different color, it could have been whatever. I don't know. I don't see too much of a problem with it. I do like the fascia of this one. I do like the fact that you've got all the bits and pieces on the inside. This is the one though, isn't it, that you need the giveaway to basically complete the stuff that's missing on the walls, and you can change the different bits and pieces out. So you've got like the piano that you can add in there, and you've got the painting on the one side, and yeah, it's a little bit cheeky, this one, but I do like the little greenhouse up at the top. So you can have your fruit and veg and all that kind of stuff, and then you've got the band on the inside. You can rip the drum kit off and put the piano in there, or maybe even extend the tables and chairs. You've got the changing room with the artwork here, but there's another bit of artwork inside that giveaway van. And then you've got all of the other little bits and pieces as well. Pizza restaurant on the other side. And then you've got the more musical bits and bobs like that. And then, yeah, that's where of course, the chef gets the fresh fruit, doesn't he? You definitely need the giveaway for this, Reese. I don't know who has one, but there is definitely one. It's definitely something that you need. And it looks very, very effective next to the Jazz Club, as you can see. In fact, I think I said this before. I think this is one of the Smart 3 photos. I think the next one actually makes it even better. I can't remember what 3 I said when we briefly were looking at this. I can't remember what day it was. Only a few days ago now, wasn't it? Right, moving on to the next one. So the Jazz Club is nice. Natural History Museum, 10326. 10326. So we are getting newer and newer. And again, we are 236. Come on. There. What's going on? 10326. I'm going to have a nightmare. 10326. There it is. Took 3 attempts, but we're good. So I'm assuming everybody likes this one. The people that built it all said it's very, very good. Obviously, base plate and a half again. All the different bits and pieces internally on the wall. You can still find them. And you've got the little dino that's on the inside. Lots of Easter eggs with the poop, the whip, the little skull, and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got the bit up at the top, and you've got the broken mystery going on with the Johnny Thunder, isn't it? Is the character from this one. So it's an old school Johnny Thunder. He's aged on at this one. Yeah, the Ewok Village. I don't know how that popped up, but I don't know if that's classed as a modular or not, but you could add that into your top 3 if you want to. But they had, of course, they had a toilet in. Yes. Is this one of the first sets that had a fetish for a toilet? Is this the original one where it kicked everything off? Yeah, that's it. You're gonna have to. I would wait for double points. And then that way you can then just get something else later on in the year with the money. But it is available now. It's easily available. So we're now in the ones that are now currently available. So we started at the oldest. We're working our way through. There is not that many left. We're into the final 2, and then we are done. So 10350 is next. Any guesses what that is? It shouldn't be too hard. It should not be too hard to get. 10350. 10350. Tudor corner. Here it is. So this one I do think looks very impressive. Don't own it. Will I? Maybe. I might pick this one up before it retires. Maybe. But I don't know what to do with it, to be honest. So I'm not too sure. And after our Pokemon conversation yesterday, I do like the clocks. I'm more than likely going to be spending a bit of money on the Pokemon sets moving forward. because on that list, I was re-looking at the list yesterday. There's another Pokemon set for £200 coming out later on in the year. I can't fathom what that'll be unless it's going to be like a big Snorlax or something. So if they're going to do another big, if they're going to do a Snorlax, it's obviously going to have to be a big thing. But yeah, it's about £200. But yeah, you've got the big, nice big clocks just up at on the bottom. You've got the nice bits and pieces. You've got the chimney sweep. It just doesn't look as inviting when they're now starting to use this sort of thing. You know what I mean? If you think all of the others that we've seen as a 3, it was nice sort of artworky stuff, and they've kind of just gone, we're just going to put it on a shelf with books. Guess that's how it would be though, so kind of makes sense. And of course you've got that as the corner as well, so you can pick and choose how it is you would like to do yours, because of course you can only see the side, whereas on this one, because they've got the photo angles, you've got that sort of opportunity. So I know a lot of people like this one. I know a lot of people hate this one. So it is what it is. There is a lot of clocks. One Brick Stud. Good evening to you. How are we? You've got one more to get through. So before we start to wrap things up, because we're in and out normally in about an hour, what is everybody's top 3? I want to know your top 3 modulars. Now we've seen them on the list of every single one that we've seen. It doesn't matter if you own them or not. What is your top 3? I'll recap them very, very quickly at the end, because I'll go to the other website and just click on each photo individually, so you can have a quick look. Because the last one is a shopping street, 11371. So 11371 is this one. Now Shibo has been making this one up, and we've seen Shibo's length, haven't we? That's probably the only thing I can length. Yeah, get good. Either or. It's been shown off, and this looks great in the middle as a display. It does look really very, very effective. It looks much better in person. These photos are awful, but because they're now computer generated stuff, aren't they, rather than the attempts at photos that they used to take ages ago. But you can see all the bits and pieces that are going on the middle. You've got all the band, you've got all the other little bits and pieces that are going on. But no, I think in person, this one looks a lot more effective, and it does work really, really very, very well. So I'm going to show all of these off using the other website that I was doing, because I've got the picture on each one. You guys and girls, once you've seen all of them, last time, let me know what your top ones are. So you have got the shopping street, followed by Tudor Corner. This is in reverse order. Natural History Museum. Jazz Club. Coming back through to the next lot. So we get rid of all these boring boxes, because they're all awful, horrible, dull. There we go. Bit of colour coming in now with the bookshop. Look how much brighter that looks. It just looks much nicer. And then we've got the corner garage. Again, looking nice and smart. The diner. The nice happy blue sky, rather than looks like the world's ended. Followed by the assembly square. Again, we're in the creator expert now, so we go year by year by year. It soon changes. Straight into, come on, you're doing really well. The brick bank, there it is. So I think that's still fantastic. It holds up to this date. That also looks very good with the office. Then we have got the restaurant. Very, very nice indeed. And then we have got this. Then we have got this. Then there is this. Getting older. Then you've got the Grand Emporium, which looks great. The Fire Brigade looks very impressive. Got this one. This one. And then this one. So that is all of the 1 a year modulars that come out. That's all of those. That's all of them done. So you can see that they're all there. Now, I've used the modular for the... Oh, you are joking. Were you not looking at what I was showing? Did you not see that? I don't think I was sharing the right thing. I don't think. Oh, you are joking. Right, we'll try that. Well, you could have warned me. Right, we'll do it one more time. We've got the shopping street, followed by the Tudor Corner. What an absolute moron. Right, we've then got the Natural History Museum, Jazz Club, Hotel. So again, you see what I mean now. Again, for the second time with these boring box artwork. Police station. I can't believe I didn't switch it over. Then we have got the bookshop. So super bright, super vibrant. Then it is the corner garage, followed by the diner, followed by the assembly square. It's amazing how many of them there are. Followed by the brick bank, Texas office, the restaurant, cinema, town hall, the pet shop, Grand Emporium. So even this sort of odd looking, like original box artwork that they used to, I think it still looks a little bit nicer and stands out a little bit brighter than the black. Granted, it doesn't look as expensive, but at least it's a little bit more vibrant on the shelf. This, I still don't know if people class this as the modular. And then we've got the calf corner. So that is all of the modulars officially from the Lego page. That is there. So we have got one more, because I did say at the very, very start, we've had a look at the mini ones at the very, very beginning. I've used the screen grab as the Lego store, but there is obviously the Marvel modulars and stuff like that, which, to be fair, I'm not going to look at, but we will have a look. We will have one quick look at Doctor Strange, because that is technically in the same scale as all of the others, if it just works well. So with the Doctor Strange, again, it's all four sides on this does something, or at least three of them, shall I say? Because you've got the front, you've got the side there, and then it is all four, because you've got the eyeball that sticks out on the side, and then you can whack the minifigures onto the back. So if you were to create like a side alley, or create whatever it is that you want to, you can mix and match in all three of these, because these all get ripped out and get put into different bits and bobs. There is obviously the Avengers Tower and all the others that we will take a better look at, say, for example, Thursday, Friday this week, whereas we'll just keep this to the modulars so we can be done there or thereabouts within the hour. And then so something that you could add in no problem, and it would just fit in nicely. There's potential for others that could potentially work in there, depending on what you class as your modulars, but a lot of people just go for the January releases. So that's it. So we got no mod. Well, there's only technically one there's only one modular, isn't there? Because the Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle, I know you can't really class that as the Daily Bugle. Maybe the Avengers Tower is just one big building, isn't it? So, I mean, we can very quickly, but I would have done the mini modulars, because then you've got to start looking at the Harry Potter stuff and all that kind of thing, and we're best off just sticking to the bigger ones. But you've got the Daily Bugle. The problem is with these that this won't fit on a shelf, so this won't fit in a line in your Kallax. It won't go in with them on a Billy, because it would just be too tall, and it'll be too tall on the shelf, which it'll probably hit the ceiling. But there's a lot of detail on the inside of these. But again, I wouldn't class this as part of a modular series as the street. It's just more of its own separate thing. It is a nice looking set. It is, but I wouldn't really, because we all know that the modular comes out once a year, because you've got loads of amazing minifigures within this, but obviously it's now gone. It's now retired, this one. Never made it to the Insiders weekend. Loads and loads of beautiful photos for it. It's 35 photos. It is a nice looking thing internally. And, it's can be a little bit fragile, obviously, as some of these things are. But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice looking set. So if people like it, happy days. That's the thing. I know a lot of you do I know a lot of you do have this one, but if we've done one Marvel, we've done 2 Marvels, we're going to have to do Arkham, aren't we? Just to level it up. So Arkham is technically a modular, but I again wouldn't class this as part of the modulars. But we're right at the end of the stream, so we can throw this in quickly. I think this is on a lot of people's list just to try and backtrack, because it's gonna. I don't know if this will actually make the. I don't think this is going to make the Insiders weekend, especially now the Eiffel Tower is being moved to the end of the year. I think they just don't want much to do with DC. I get that impression at the moment. So I get the impression with this, because of course with the X-Men Manor and all that kind of stuff is also modular, but that will do for the modulars, and then we'll have a more of a deep dive superhero stream separately where we can look at these in much greater detail, go over all the minifigures. We'll do a Marvel versus DC stream. That'd be a good thing to do. We just do a Marvel DC stream on a different time, because there's so many of them to look at. Yeah, so it's yeah, that's it. So it's a bit awkward. The Avengers at the end of this year, isn't it? No, is Avengers next year? Because or was it halfway through this year? I don't know. The X-Men Manor and Arkham is going at the end of this year. Right, with regards to the poll, 17 votes in. The modular got 35%. Something else got 35%. It was CMFs at 18. New IP at 12. So, right, guys, that was it. Super short and sweet, like it always is on a Tuesday night, I'm afraid. So it's not going to be a lengthy one. We've got the length will return on Thursday. We'll do hopefully a longer build on Thursday. Then Friday will just be for hours and hours and hours and hours. So we've got some big streams to come. So I will catch back up with everybody on Thursday. You'll all enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good day tomorrow, and I will catch up with you all soon. Right, easy and as simple as that. Take it easy, everybody. Bye. Ooh, that's the one. And goodbye.